friends, and a warm welcome to Ina Knits. My name is Ina. I am a Norwegian knitter and I love to show up here on my YouTube channel and chat with you about my knitting. So here we are again. It is in the middle of October and this will be a sock heavy episode. So if you're in for that, I hope you enjoy. If you're a little bit curious about my sock knitting, please stay. Otherwise, I will see you next time. So October I have dedicated to socks. Socktober is a term that somebody came up with, I don't know who, I don't know when, but I have been practicing Socktober for a few years. And yeah, you know, I love October, I love knitting socks, so it's the perfect combination. And couple of things before I proceed talking about Socktober. I can be found on Instagram as ina.knits, so please feel free to check me out there if you're interested in seeing what I'm up to. I'm trying to be quite consistent about posting on Instagram these days. I have been very on and off on social medias, but I do believe that it is a muscle that can be trained to stay consistent and to be present on social medias. So I have been posting every day, at least nearly every day through October, mostly on stories, but also daily on posts and reels. So if you are following me there, you might have noticed that I have been posting a lot of socks, and I've also been posting quite some things from our fall break, which was last week here in Norway, at least here where we live. And we flew to Florence. By we, meaning my family, my partner Christian and 4 of our total 5 children. So we went there, we rented a flat in the city center, and we just had a marvelous week of Italian goodness, all the yummy foods, a lot of pizzas and pasta and ice cream, of course. And we were basically tourists for the entire week. The flat was kind of close to a lovely park where they had the possibilities both to sit down and relax and enjoy the greenery in the park, but also to play some ball. So our 2 youngest, they bought themselves football, and they play there for some time nearly every day. So that was good for them. And we also visited some of the highlights in Florence, the Duomo, and the lovely streets and the wonderful architecture of the buildings. So we had just a marvelous week with nice summer weather. It was t-shirt and shorts temperatures every day, so we couldn't complain at all. It was a treat. Now we are home again, and I brought home a virus of some sorts. So my throat is a little bit sore, and I hope that my voice comes through. Nevertheless, I have brought with me a cup of tea, so I might need to take a couple of sips. Yeah, I really wanted to talk to you today and show you what I've been up to for the past couple of weeks. Yeah, and thank you so much for the warm welcome of my Norwegian speaking episode last time. I was really encouraged to keep going with both English speaking episodes and Norwegian episodes. So I think I will give that a try, and we shall see how it goes. I do have some technical issues when it comes to editing and uploading these videos to YouTube. So I will not bother you with the issues right now, but if you would care to stick around to the end of the episode, I will let you in on what the situation is, and if you have some technical insight, you might be so inclined to give me some advice. Right, okay, first tea. Right, so I've been busy knitting socks. As I said, I have actually three pairs of finished socks to show you. And the first pair is a sock pair that I brought with me on vacation. So I cast on the first sock on the plane down to Italy, and I bound off sock number 2 on the returning flight. So that was kind of fun. And the yarn I have used is scrap yarn, which means it's the remains of my 2 opal yarn calendars that I had a few years back. I think I had the opal, you know, the mini yarny calendar with 50 gram minis in 2 consecutive years. I thoroughly enjoyed that calendar, but it is a limit to how many minis you can actually have in your stash, my opinion. So I needed at some point to, you know, start using them and not just hoarding them. So I've used a lot of those minis when I knitted my son's mitered square blanket, because it's a kind of sturdy and rustic, good workhorse sock yarn. So when I finished my son's mitered square blanket, I was left with approximately 70 grams of yarn. And 70 grams, and it was, yeah, I think it was 7 or 8 nuggets. Only one full nugget, and the rest was just leftovers. Yeah, so I have just been cranking out scrappy socks. And this is how they turned out. And I just think these are so much fun. I love them. So I kind of tried to match them up, but these opal sock yarns are very highly variegated, so they change a lot, as you probably know. So the cuff is knit with the same colorway, And then I continued with another colorway and continue here on with the same colorway, but you really can't see that there it's from the same colorway, can you? But it doesn't matter, really. And I had this neutral brownish leftover that I decided to use for heels, which was a really good match. I had some left over when I finished heel number 2, so I just continued knitting around for a couple of rounds. And yeah, the finishing is kind of different, but it doesn't matter, does it? These are 60 stitch socks, and I knit them top down, and the ribbing is 2x2, and I don't really count the length of the leg. I just knit until I feel ready to knit the heel. And then I do a reinforced heel and a rather long gusset to make them fit my heel. And yeah, I was so happy when I knitted these socks. I just absolutely love a good scrappy sock project. Marvelous. So that was pair number 1. Next pair was basically finished when I recorded last, but I will of course show you how they turned out. So these are knit out of sock blank from Martin's Lab, and they are now washed and blocked. I knitted 1x1 rib, and I did the same for the rest of the sock, meaning reinforced heel and gusset, decrease, and I did I don't know what the toe is called, but it is, you know, when you decrease on both sides every other row. And always Kitchener stitch the toe to make it neat. Super happy with this pair, and they are just perfect for October, which is also Breast Cancer Awareness Month. A campaign that's colored pink. So I will submit this pair and probably all 3 pairs, I think, into Make Along that is hosted by... I had to leave you there for 20 minutes. I just realized that I had to go and change the tires on my car. We woke up to frost this morning, and this time of the year is the usual time where we need to change tire from summer to winter tires. I know that's not common all around the world to do that, but here in Norway it's mandatory. We get so much ice and snow and frost during the winters, so it's extremely hazardous. It's it's very dangerous to drive around without proper winter tires. So I had an appointment just now to get my tires changed out. Right, but I'm back, and I was talking about the breast cancer awareness month, and the make-along that is run by Kristin of Frøken K strikker. She has a wonderful podcast. It is in Norwegian only, and she is hosting this kind of campaign / knit along, make along every October, and so knitters in Norway, and I think you can participate if you are from Denmark, Sweden as well. We knit something with pink. Doesn't have to include much pink, but it needs to include some pink. And then we post it in her thread on Ravelry, and then we are eligible for prizes. But most importantly, for each item we add to the make-along, we need to donate money for the breast cancer awareness campaign. And it will all go to research and important work relating the Breast Cancer Foundation. So yeah, I'm super pleased with this pair. I talked quite a lot about them last time, and I will show you. Oh, I could mention that these are knit with 64 stitches, and these are 60 stitches. The ends are woven in, but I haven't trimmed them yet. So yeah, and there are some spots of pink in them too, so I will of course add them to the same make-along. And it's called Rosa Sandstrikk, which is a very funny way of saying pink knit-along in Norwegian. This is the last pair I have finished. I think I was about to start the heel on sock number 2 last time, so I just completed the pair, and yeah, very pleased with them as well. This is again 60 stitch sock. I knitted 2x2 ribbing. They are a little shorter on the leg, but I really wanted to see if I could crank out a pair of socks with 50-gram hank of sock yarn, and I did, thanks to the fact that I knitted contrasting heel and toe. Yeah, so this is my own hand-dyed sock yarn. Actually, the very first sock, my very first attempt of hand-dyeing yarn. So I'm pretty pleased with how it turned out. They're very bright and colorful. And the heels are out of an Advent Mini that I got from Arctic Yarns. And the toes are from, there are the remains of hank of lovely yarn from Tweedy Todd. And neither Tweedy Todd nor Arctic Yarns are dyeing anymore, but I'm happy to have these in my collection of yarns. So yeah. So 3 pairs of socks, completely done. And I have knitted on other socks as well, so I will show you. First up is the Tweedy brown socks I'm knitting for Christian, my boyfriend and partner. He is very knitworthy and he wished for a pair of Tweedy socks. He's been talking about that for some time, and I pulled out this yarn from my stash, which was a perfect shade for him. And this is BFL base. It's which is blue-faced leather, and it's quite tightly spun, so there's no nylon in this yarn, but I think they will work well as sock yarn due to the spinning, the way they are spun. So yes, I have been knitting down to, yeah, I've just finished the gusset decrease. And I stopped knitting on them because I wanted him to try it on and see if they fit. He has a rather high instep, so it is important that the heel is kind of deep enough, and it was. So now I can basically just, it's so hard to show you when it's crunched up like this. Yeah, but you get the idea. Next is just to knit the foot and the toe and start on sock number 2. And the other sock that I have been working on, I actually brought this yarn with me to Florence. I had it as a backup in case I casted off any pairs down there. I did not, so but I cast on these socks right after I finished the Scrappy Opal socks. This is a lovely October colorway from Milla's Microfärgeri. She's a kind of local to me hand dyer in Trondheim. So I was part of a subscription, a club that she did a few years back, and yeah, 3-month subscription. So this was the October colorway. So I thought they were very appropriate to work on during October. Look how beautiful this knits up. I really, really like it. It's very autumnal to me. Yeah, so I'm enjoying knitting these a lot. I'm doing a broken rib pattern. And again, this is 64 stitches, 2x2 rib for, I think, about 25 rounds. And then I do 3x1 broken rib from there. And I really like the effect of the broken rib. I think it's very beautiful. I now realize that I have one more sock to show you that I didn't bring here, so I will have to pause and go grab it. Yeah, so do you remember, if you have been watching me before, of course, that I had these two in my stash, and I really like the combination of the golden brown and the deep purples and blues. And this is a Crazy Sour Ball, and this is Kit Couture Merino, but it is basically Filcolana Arvetta. It's the same thing. So I have been dreaming about creating a pair of socks from a combination of them, and so I did. At least I have one sock finished, and I think it turned out so beautiful with the brown as the contrast. So I started off with the brown, as you can see, 2x2, and I believe this is a 64 stitch as well. And I switched to the Crazy Sour Ball and continued the ribbing for an inch, approximately 2 or 3 centimeters. And then I have knitted just a kind of a stitch pattern. I don't know how to explain it other than I think every third row I knit 3 stitches, and then I knit purl 1 stitch, and then I it's not very easy to see, but I have just tried to include some seed stitches, moss stitch, just here and there to create some texture. Yeah. Other than that, it is kind of my standard sock recipe. Very, very happy, and these are extremely autumnal, I think. I have barely casted on sock number 2. It's like this. So yeah, barely. But I must admit that the opal socks just held my attention until they were finished, and then I was so eager to cast on the October yarn that I kind of forgot about these. I need to pick them back up again. They're very fun to knit, but they are a struggle to knit during nighttime. Of course, due to the yarn being quite dark, so I need really good lighting in order to get it right. Okay, that was all my socks for now. I do also, yeah, all of my socks. I have knitted a little bit on this one. I will not talk about it because it's, I will show you again once I have some more progress. But I have knitted something else that's kind of cute. Look at these. Oops. I have knitted tiny mitten ornaments, and they match perfectly with my nails. I didn't realize until now. That's kind of fun. This is from a pattern of Pia. She used to be called Pia Common Born, but she has changed her name. Is it to Carlson? Ooh, I have of course already put that on the screen for you. But These are just adorable. I was very inspired by a fellow knitting podcaster, Brit Strikkenerd. She is truly amazingly inspiring with all of her colors and knitting. And I believe it was her, she showed these on her podcast, maybe a month ago, I think it was. And I immediately ran over to Ravelry and bought the pattern. I have been making ornaments for Christmas for some years. And I usually knit the Christmas balls by Arne Carlos. I've also knitted the Bluebird of Happiness many times. I have knitted mini socks, mini mittens, like simple mini mittens. But these are just so adorable. So I even have another one on the needle. These are knit with 2mm needles, like the tiniest needle I got. And I'm using Rauma Lammullgarn, which is kind of thin, combined with this brand, which is a yarn I bought in Estonia years ago. I have a lot of yarn like that in my stash, and this is definitely not a stash buster, but it works perfectly for making these ornaments. So my plan is to crank out as many ornaments as I possibly can in between all of the other projects I'm working on. And I will hang some of them on my Christmas tree this season, and I plan to give away to friends and family as well. They make super nice little gifts. I don't think I have that much more to show you knitting wise. I do, however, have some acquisition. I will show you real quick because it is really not much. And then I will talk to you about my computer issue afterwards. While we were in Italy, in Florence, I dedicated some hours one morning to go and hunt for yarn shops. I find it so interesting to look into other countries' yarn shops to get a feel of what is popular there, what is common there, what is offered in other countries, because I'm of course used to and common to Norwegian brands of yarn, and they tend to differ a little bit from other countries. We went to 2 yarn shops in the city center of Florence. One of them was actually basically in the basement, just next to the Duomo, you know, the big church with the dome on top, which is very, very, like, it speaks Florence to me. It's very, very Florence, or Firenze, as we say in Norway. So that was interesting. They don't seem to knit as much with woolly wool in Italy, at least that's what I kind of read out of going to these 2 yarn shops. There might be much more cotton and acrylics, and even some wool acrylic blends. But they offer a lot of nice wool as well. I didn't actually buy any like pure wool, simply because I couldn't imagine what I would use it for. But we found some lovely, lovely yarn. And this is a beautiful tweedy yarn. It says that it is Aran weight, but it is approximately 200 meters per 100 grams. So I don't know. I would say that it is probably a DK or a kind of a heavy DK, maybe a worsted weight. So it is mostly wool. It says that it's 60% wool, 20% polyamide, and then you have the viscose, which are probably the color flaxes, the tweedy effect. And the reason why we bought this yarn was that first of all, it was on sale, so it was 50% off, and it was kind of cheap to begin with. So we bought a lot because Christian is really eager for me to knit him a sweater out of this yarn. And I think it will be marvelous. So I have an entire shopping bag full of balls because we couldn't, of course, risk to buy too little. The other thing that I purchased in Florence was sock yarn. Yeah, no surprise there. You know how much I love sock yarn and knitting socks. And I think that these were very fun. This is a Fortissima from Schallerstahl. It is made in Italy. And this is an Ostermann step from Austria. I realize now that I haven't been telling you what I'm wearing. This is my ranunculus. It's maybe 4 or 5 years old. No, it's not. It's maybe 3 years old. It is knit out of a very airy brushed alpaca here. And yeah, it's very loose fitting and lovely. I am, however, contemplating whether I should pick up stitches here and knit longer arms. I do have some leftover from this yarn, and yeah, I thought that I might get some use out of it during summertime, but it is way too hot to wear during summer, and it's a little bit cold during winter unless I have long sleeves or shirts under. So yeah, I'm tempted to give it a try, but I haven't decided yet. But I'm very happy about it, and I try to wear it in between occasionally. I will sit on it a little bit with you, and I also want to thank you so much for all of the wonderful comments that I get on my videos. I am very thankful for you taking the time to watch my videos and also to give a response or ask questions or comments, telling me what you make of the things that I talk about, or giving responses to inquiries that I might have, or just to give some positive feedback. It's of great value, and I'm extremely happy about that. Yeah, so with that said, if you have any questions or anything you'd like me to know or give me feedback about, don't hesitate to post in the comments below. Yeah, so I wanted to just see if anyone could have some good suggestions when it comes to and good editing tools for YouTube videos like this. I have been posting here on YouTube since 2017, I believe it was, for 6 years. And I have always been using iMovie. I got a Mac, a PowerBook. So I've always been using iMovie, and I find it kind of easy, and it isn't, of course, the most fancy tool, but it does the job. The problem is that it takes up so much space on my computer, and I have had my computer crashing, several times due to the videos being too large, and I keep deleting old videos as I go along because even though I have quite a large storage space on my computer, it just blows every limit with those videos being they're being large. They're like 10-20 gigabytes large. I have been trying to work with an external hard drive, trying to save the videos and iMovie specifically on the external hard drive, but I can't seem to get it to work. And I'm not sure if this is only a Mac or Apple problem, or if it's just a problem in general. My goal is to have an external hard drive and have all the videos like storage or saved there, and then I can just pick them up and upload them directly to YouTube. That would be great. But for some reason, I suspect it's because of the iMovie being an Apple product, that it won't allow iMovie to be stored outside of the hard drive of the computer. So it's a massive problem, and excuse me. What I'm thinking is either to go for another video editing program. I think that might solve the problem. I know there's a lot of really good video editing programs out there. I do not think that I'm up for a very advanced program like Adobe, what is it called? The Adobe video editing program. So I don't have the headspace of something very fancy, but if you have something to recommend me, something that might help solving the problem, it would be super great. Because I think if it's an independent software, it might be that I'm able to save it externally on my external hard drive. Oh, sorry, my eye just suddenly started cramping up. Okay, some more tea. The other thing I was wondering about was it sometimes takes a horrendous amount of time to upload films into YouTube. I have to download the video from iMovie to my computer, or rather I download it to iCloud to not get in trouble with storage on my Mac. And then I need to upload from there and up to YouTube. Is there another way that's better? I have tried to upload directly to YouTube, and I used to be able to do that some time ago, but now I can't find that possibility, and I'm not sure why that is. Of course, these videos are rather large, so it is possible that you can do that with smaller videos or shorter videos, but I don't seem to have that possibility. And it takes a lot of time, and many times it just breaks down, and it just says that uploading failed and I have to start all over again. And I've also experienced many times that I have been uploading a video and it is cut short. So it says on the time bar that it is, for instance, 40 minutes long, but when I press play, it stops after 90 minutes or whatever, and the rest of the video is just picture me frozen in time and no sounds. So that's kind of frustrating. I've spent 24 hours, I've spent 1.5 days trying to upload a video to YouTube, and it's extremely time consuming. And that's after editing and after recording. So I just wished that I could make this process a little bit smoother, because I love to do it. It just requires so much energy and time. And I'd rather be knitting. Yeah. So I didn't mean to seem uncontent. I just want to have some feedback from other YouTubers, other people who are making videos and posting them out there. Do you have some tips for me? Because I would love to know, and I would love to continue doing this and even posting more often. I would love to do that too. I have a lot of things that I want to show you and post about, and develop this channel further. But then things need to be a little bit smoother. If you're here until now, I am very grateful, and I hope that you are having a wonderful October, whether you are knitting socks or knitting pink or knitting other things. Maybe you're into that Stephen West knit along. I would love to be, but I have been realizing that I don't wear a lot of shawls. And I love Stephen West's work, but I'm not always in love with all of his design. So I rather see what the design look like beforehand, and then I decide whether or not to knit it, if you know what I mean. Okay, I will let you go now, and I hope to see you in not too long. Bye.